Bon dia and kumusta ka, my anthronaut. I'm Mark Thomas, your traveling anthropologist. Departing the Philippines Manila Cathedral, we are now arriving at the Brazilian Amazon. And no, we're not referring to the online market, but the world's largest rainforest, which is located in the South American basin and gives us 70% of our oxygen plus 20% of our fresh water. The Amazonas state is inhabited by indigenous populations amongst countless species of fauna and flora. You could spend a lifetime getting to know this area, but for your sake, we will focus on the top 10 things to do on your Amazon vacation. Beginning at number 10 is meeting the real Amazonians. I know that you've been told that there is this character from the Amazon who has a golden lasso and an invisible airplane. But when you fly into the capital city, Manaus, you will meet Amazon people who are truly wonderful. During my entire stay, I meet residents who are kind, knowledgeable, and very patient with tourists. You may befriend Amazonians at the airport, downtown, or even your hotel. Although many of them speak various languages, Portuguese is Brazil's lingua franca. So be sure to speak the basic words that we taught you earlier in this series. And consult a local before embarking on any adventure because it's a jungle out there. Number 9 on the Amazon activity list is visiting Ponta Negra Beach. It is the most popular beach here. Well, it's the only beach here. It's on Manaus' southwest side, about 13 kilometers from Civic Center, and you may take a local bus to find this quick getaway. During the weekends, you may visit the boardwalk, which is filled with restaurants, bars, and music. During the week, Ponta Negra is a beautiful and peaceful place to enjoy while relaxing your feet. Now, do you notice something curious about the water here? Yes, it's tea-colored, and that comparison is actually pretty accurate since Rio Negro is filled with brown tannins from billions of Amazon tree leaves. The beach itself is sandy as expected, but when you wade into the warm water, there is plenty of rich mud, which is delightfully fun to squish between your toes. We notice an auditorium area to the west of us where certain groups may even do choreography routines. If you want to take a walk, then feel free to trek around the fragrant garden surrounding the beach. Then return to watch the sunset as the boats glide by. The number 8 thing you must do is absolutely nothing. Upon your air, road, and boat trip to the Amazon, you will need to just relax. And rocking hammocks is just the ticket. In our accommodations, we have some of them swinging right there on the balcony, complete with a serene view of the Amazon River's tributary flowing Rio Negro. This is a great way to wash your cares away while imagining what fun things await you below and above this awesome rainforest biome. Once you re-energize yourself, you may choose to rejoin the human race which has assembled itself in our Riverside Common area. The Amazon is more than just a Brazilian resource, but also a world treasure, so you will be synchronizing with new friends from around the planet. After this marvelous chill session, you will be ready to start an unforgettable adventure. Mercado Lixbao is our 7th recommended activity. This is Manaus' big marketplace named after the mayor during the height of the Rubber Empire, and it features products from around the Amazon. Its central building was built in the late 1800s based on Les Halles in Paris, France. Remember your family and friends by also getting them some Amazonian souvenirs. My buddies and I decide to grab some lunch here before continuing our exploration. I choose the famous giant fish staple of the Amazon River called pirarucu, and this also becomes our central meal for the entire trip. A popular tasty side dish to eat is beans and noodles, which we heartily munch while watching the bustling activity in the Rio Negro below. Afterwards, you may shop around the surrounding markets to pick up even more tropical treats. Opening at 6 on our playlist is the Regal Teatro Amazonas, which is Portuguese for the Amazon Theater. Like the market, this building is also constructed upon the Belle Époque's rubber dynasty to shine as a cultural jewel in the rainforest. This Renaissance opera house seats over 700 guests and is continuously filled with singers, orchestras, and dancers. Your central office is a hall of mirrors, artwork, and precious wood floors. Before the show, you may also lounge in the balcony areas to enjoy the panoramic views of Manaus in its natural setting. Our resident expert and theater concierge, Thiago, shares his perspective on Notre Belle Dame.
Olá, meu nome é Thiago e estou aqui para falar desse local que é muito especial e muito importante e que você deve conhecer, que é o Teatro Amazonas. O Teatro Amazonas foi fundado em 1896 e aqui atualmente funciona como uma casa de apresentações de shows, de ópera, né, e jazz e vários eventos que acontecem aqui na cidade, tá? Então é um lugar que vale a pena você conferir.
Muito obrigado, Thiago. At position 5, you must meet the world-famous Amazon wildlife. But before that, we have breaking news. What is the word origin of Amazon? I will fish out the answer for you at the end of this video. If you love living on the wild side, then you will love meeting the original residents in this magnificent ecological system. Brazil is the most biodiverse place on the planet, so if you want suggestions on when to visit here, I would recommend my birthday, April 22nd, which just happens to be Earth Day, and also May 22nd, declared as World Biodiversity Day. Then you may support this delicate world against deforestation, smuggling, and other dangers. Although our hosts were able to introduce us to a few Amazonian creatures, this area is so incredibly huge, you'll find much of your interaction is acoustical, and that often you'll view your adorable friends as a fleeting glimpse in the corner of your eyes. A better bet is to visit the military zoo called the Zoological CIGS, which showcases more than 200 local animals, many of whom were rescued from existential threats. Some of their neighbors include macaws, anacondas, jaguars, which naturally includes the Black Panther. Wakanda forever! At Fantastic Activity number 4, you behold the world-famous Encontro das Águas, which is Portuguese for the meeting of the water. On your boat to Manaus, you will see something very unusual about the surrounding waters. Some of the waves are light, while the others are darker, and amazingly, they flow adjacent to each other. This effect is due to the composition and behavior of these two separate river sources. The lighter Rio Solimões starts in the Andes Mountains, and it's filled with fast-moving sediment, while the darker, slower Rio Negro is born in the Colombian hills and oozes through the botanically rich Amazon rainforest. Because these pigments also absorb solar energy, this part will feel warmer than the other, which you will sense as you stick your hand into it. This alternating sine wave pattern is literally set in stone on the beach sidewalks of Rio de Janeiro. Hence, this is an absolutely unforgettable Brazilian experience. But sharp, gnashing teeth are even more memorable, and that is why piranha fishing snatches the bronze medal at number 3 of the best things to do in the Amazon. Prior to this vacation, I had yet to ever catch a fish on previous expeditions, so I am determined to hook the famous piranha. Fortunately, they live everywhere here, just beneath the surface, which may make you wary of casually bathing in this river. We take a motorized canoe further out, while armed with just a hook on a stick, simply baited with raw chicken. After many horror movies, I thought capturing these little monsters would be a piece of cake. But these clever swimming teeth usually eat around your hook, leaving you empty-handed. But after a long struggle, I triumphantly capture my first ever fish. Be careful not to put your hands between their jaws, or you may lose a finger, even when you think they are already dead. I release my 2 fish to our hostile kitchen chef because it takes many bony piranhas to cook up a decent meal. Hiking through the Amazon rainforest is our number 2 of things you will love to do on your Amazon adventure. Normally our group stays close to the water, but this morning our local tour guide Vincent says he will take us on a jungle hiking trip. We all agreed to this with some jitters, because per our motto here, everything kills. This applies to the tiny army ant rising up to the huge anaconda. Vincent leads the way armed with a machete while chopping away from our path spiky branches, which can cause painful infections. I'm wondering if a hungry species is now secretly watching us until it's dinner time, like with that goat in Jurassic Park. But soon my thoughts are filled with the colorful views and musical sounds emanating from this botanical canopy. We spy termites, exotic birds, and avatar-style mushrooms, just to mention a few. And on a dare from my Italian friend Francesco, we eat some actual grub which hides in its seed. As the sun goes down, we set up camp and build a large fire. This is easier said than done because, remember, this is a rainforest, and the Amazon channels the largest freshwater supply in the world. After our dinner conversation, we retire into our sealed cocoon-like hammocks, with the only shelter being an open-air room to guard us from evening showers, but not from the hungry animals. I feel like we are sacrificial human burritos, like the pods in the film Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Dreams approach us tentatively, but to our relief, we awaken to a glowing mist filled with the music of songbirds. And the number one thing to do in the Amazon is boating down the river. The Amazon River drains 219 million liters of fresh water into the ocean every second, and it is as diverse as the rainforest which contains it. This water world is filled with an energetic aquatic community. In addition to the piranhas, there are various waterfowl, floating lettuce, as well as gray and even pink dolphins. Early every morning, we take a small motorized boat to explore the jungle. In fact, people use their boats like we use our cars back home to get anywhere, especially during the wet season. You will notice that their homes on the river shore are either built on stilts or floating logs to accommodate the fluctuating water levels. The Rio Negro serves as the main highway here, but to do some good bird watching, you should take the smaller waterways. At times, we must use our paddles to cautiously navigate our canoe through the narrower pathways. In the open water, we let the slow current steer us as we spy breaching dolphins, which are amazing sights to behold.
Attention!
A heavy downpour may appear without notice, so unless you are in a canopied speedboat, just prepare to get absolutely soaked. Fortunately, the weather is warm here in the tropics, therefore just chalk it up to being your authentic Amazonian experience. This is just a sample of what you may do here in the amazing Amazon rainforest, and seems that during every phase of the day you are in a completely different world. When you come to Brazil, it is imperative that you join an ecotour and support this ecological jewel of the earth. Now, back to our breaking news. Before we asked, what is the word origin of Amazon? It may be derived from the Persian prefix Hamazan, meaning warriors.
If you love the earth, then please like, comment, and share this video, and then ring your subscriber button below to grab even more travel culture information. See you next time for another exciting excursion. I'm Mark Thomas for Anthonauts. Ciao ciao and huiawa.